The hospital reeked of antiseptic, the sharp chemical bite burning in my nose as I lay there in the stiff paper gown. My head pounded, offbeat and relentless, each throb echoing like a broken drum. The four tugged at my arm, heavy, foreign, as if it belonged to someone else. I fixed my gaze on the ceiling tiles, tracing the tiny craters in their surface just to keep from crying out. How had it come to this? Just a few hours earlier, I was smiling, raising a glass, James's arm wrapped warmly around my waist. Now I was alone. My phone was dead. My wedding ring flashed cold beneath the fluorescent light, and James was gone. Not just gone, vanished. And the questions tearing through me hurt worse than the ache splitting my skull. It had started at the bar, a low-lit dive called the Rusty Anchor, thick with cigarette smoke and a jukebox bleeding out Springsteen. James insisted we go. His voice still carried that youthful spark, the same boyish charm that hooked me 10 years ago. "Come on, Lena. Let's shake things up," he had said, his hazel eyes catching the chandelier glow in our kitchen. I'd hesitated. Mia was spending the night at my mom's, and I'd been looking forward to quiet takeout and a movie. But James's grin was impossible to resist. I gave in, slipping into a red dress I hadn't worn since before Mia was born. The place was packed, voices overlapping, bodies brushing together, the clink of glassware in the air. James guided me to a booth in the corner, his hand resting at the small of my back. That's when I noticed them, a man and a woman at the bar. Strangers. He had sharp angles to his face, a leather jacket worn at the seams. She wore an emerald blouse that shimmered beneath neon light, her dark hair spilling over her shoulders. They weren't from here. I'd grown up in this coastal town. I knew every regular. These two didn't belong. Their laughter was too loud, their glances too intentional. "Lena, you okay?" James pulled me back to the moment, a whiskey in his hand. Already a second, his cheeks tinged pink. I nodded, though unease curled tight in my stomach. The woman's eyes shifted toward us, lingering on James longer than I liked. I told myself I was being paranoid. After 10 years, I trusted him. Didn't I? The night blurred. More drinks. James's hand on my thigh. The strangers weaving closer to the crowd until suddenly they were at our table. The man introduced himself as Ethan, his voice smooth but jagged at the edges, like gravel. The woman, Claire, flashed a wide, almost predatory smile. They claimed they were road-tripping from Boston to Miami, chasing freedom. Claire said, brushing her fingers across James's wrist as she reached for her glass. My stomach nodded. James only laughed, at ease, unbothered. Why wasn't he? Hours later, the bar was a haze of neon and heat, my head swimming from too much wine. Ethan suggested a nightcap at their motel, a cheap roadside place off Route 1 with a flickering vacancy sign. "It's got character," he smirked. I wanted to say no, to take James home, but he was already agreeing, his arm slung casually over my shoulders. "Live a little, Lena," he whispered against my ear. I swallowed my hesitation, convincing myself it was just the alcohol, the hour, the strangeness of the night. The motel reeked of mildew beneath the faint mask of air freshener. A stained carpet stretched under the buzz of a single lamp. Claire moved like a dancer, fluid, deliberate, pouring vodka into flimsy plastic cups. Ethan sprawled across the bed, boots still on, his eyes scanning me like he could strip away my skin with a glance. James sat too close to Claire, their knees touching as she passed him a drink. My heart hammered a warning, but I ignored it. Just a night out. Just fun. Nothing more. But then Claire leaned in, whispering into James's ear. His laugh, too loud, too familiar, cut me deep. My vision wavered. Not just from the vodka. I pushed up, unsteady, muttering that I needed air. Ethan followed me out, his shadow looming, as I leaned against the peeling paint of the motel wall. The ocean breeze was heavy with salt, but it did little to clear the fog in my head. "You don't look like you're enjoying yourself," he said, his voice low, almost taunting. I tried to shrug, but my tongue felt thick, my thoughts sluggish. Something was wrong. The world tipped sideways. Darkness swallowed me. When I opened my eyes again, I was in the ER. A nurse adjusted my four, her face drawn with concern. "You're lucky," she told me. My blood alcohol had been dangerously high, and there was something else. A sedative in my system. Sedative. I clawed through the haze in my head. I hadn't taken anything. Had I? My purse was gone. My phone was dead. And James was nowhere. With trembling hands, I called my mom from the hospital phone. Mia was fine, asleep at her house. But James hadn't come home. His cell went straight to voicemail. Panic seized my chest. Was he hurt? Or, no, I wouldn't let myself finish the thought. When I was discharged, I cabbed home. The house was dark, the air stale. James's keys weren't on the hook. His jacket was missing. I searched the bedroom. His dresser drawers. Empty. His clothes, his watch, even the leather wallet I gave him for our 5th anniversary. Gone. On the kitchen counter, a note in his handwriting. "I'm sorry, Lena. I can't do this anymore." My knees buckled. I collapsed to the floor, the linoleum cold against my palms. Can't do this anymore. What did that mean? Sure, we argued about bills, about Mia's tantrums, about the dull grind of marriage, but nothing that should end us. Nothing like this. I replayed the night in my head. Claire's hand on his wrist. His laughter, too warm, too free. The way he avoided my eyes when I voiced my unease. Had he known them? Was this all planned? I drove back to the motel, knuckles white on the wheel. The vacancy sign still flickered, but their room was empty, the bed unmade, a plastic cup abandoned on the nightstand. The clerk, a bored teenager with pockmarked skin, said they'd checked out at dawn, paid cash, left no names. Fake ID. At home, I searched for answers. Bank records revealed withdrawals I'd missed. Hundreds, then thousands, siphoned over months. His laptop held emails to an account I didn't recognize. Cryptic words about clean breaks. New beginnings. A hollow ache spread through me, sharp and endless. Had he been planning to leave me all along? With her? With them? I called his brother, his friends, his boss. No one knew anything, or so they claimed. His boss admitted James had been distracted, missing work, slipping out early. I wanted to scream, demand why no one told me. Instead, I sat on the floor of our living room, Mia's toys scattered across the rug, and cried until my throat burned. Days bled into weeks. Police found nothing on James, Ethan, or Claire. My mind spun in circles. Had they drugged me? Was it a scam? Or had James simply chosen her, chosen them over me? Claire's mocking smile haunted my dreams. James's laugh replayed in my head, twisted with betrayal. Mia's questions cut deepest. When's Daddy coming home? Then came the twist. A rainy Tuesday a month later. A package arrived with no return address. Inside, a USB drive. A note. You deserve to know. My hand shook as I plugged it in. A grainy video flickered on screen. James, in a motel room. Claire beside him. Their laughter, their touches. The way he looked at her. The way he'd never looked at me. The timestamp. 6 months ago. 6 months. He had been lying that long. Maybe longer. The clip ended, but the note's words burned in me. You deserve to know. Know what? That my husband was a stranger? That I'd been blind? Foolish? I wanted to hate him. Yet love clung stubbornly, raw and unwilling to let go. I wanted to find him, demand answers. But all I had left was silence. An empty house. A daughter too young to understand. I still don't know why he left. Was it Claire? Was it me? The ER report said the sedative was mild. Slipped into a drink. Did James know? Did he let it happen? Those questions weigh on me still. Heavier than the antiseptic sting of that hospital room. Sharper than the moment I read his note. All I have now are fragments. A laugh. A glance. A life torn apart. And the unbearable truth that I may never know.